What is up, Pod Nation? Welcome to the Podioslave podcast, the place for nerdery and geeking out on all things music. I'm here with my friends Tony and Anthony. What are you guys up to tonight?
Yo, I'm good. That's what you did last week, Tony, and it was super funny.
Is that what I did? Yeah. Yo, what's up? I'm feeling good.
Yo. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I love hanging out with you guys, talking about music. And it seems like we got a fan base that super stoked on talking or at least listening to music too. So everyone's kind of checking us out. We're getting some good feedback on Instagram lately. So at Podioslave on Instagram, Twitter is always churning. And, like Twan says, it's a broken record, but we do like the snail mail via podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. We get one that trickles in here and there, and we're just going to keep pumping it. We don't care. We want to see those emails. So
hell yeah.
But yeah, we have a fun segment, some cool things to talk about tonight. What do we got, Tom?
Yeah, we got a couple set list items that we will lead off here in just a second. But our main segment is maybe it's got a cool title by now, but we haven't titled it yet. We just have a thought, an idea, like we always do, and we figure it out in post. We picked 4, 5, 6 songs, and we decided we all brought to the table who we wanted to cover those songs. And we checked to see if there was a ton of people that had covered them in the past too. And there's some that maybe a little bit, but nothing super well known. So we have some songs that we all like, and we want to throw another band but in the mix and hear a proper studio version from a different band of that same song. So that's the main segment tonight. But let's get into the set list. Twan, what do we got? What's the first item on the set list tonight?
So there's a pretty good headline that I saw, actually in a few different publications online, but it stemmed from a Rolling Stone article. But basically, here's the headline. Glenn Danzig says modern punk explosion won't happen due to cancel culture and woke bullshit. So I read a few of the articles. I didn't read the interview in Rolling Stone, but I read a few of the articles. And basically, he says a couple things that people don't understand because everything's so cancel culture, woke bullshit nowadays, but you could never have the punk explosion now. It would have never happened. We're lucky it happened when it did because it'll never happen again. You won't have any of those kinds of bands ever again. So his era, obviously, early 80s, Misfits, you could throw Black Flag in there, that whole American punk hardcore and adjacent lane. The other thing he also says is the song Last Caress. That I don't know if you guys are familiar with that song. It's a song that has super questionable and sketchy lyrics that he's saying that would never have been accepted today. So I have two thoughts on this, and he's saying two conflicting things in my eyes. He mentions that the punk explosion wouldn't happen now, right? And I think that's complete bullshit because of woke culture. What he's talking about, that whole explosion, is on the right side, not right in political terms, but it's on the right side of wokeness. They're fighting, the people that are quote unquote woke fit that narrative of the punk scene. I don't know, channeling back to Frank Turner with the Get in the Van book, they were fighting off Nazi skinheads at shows. They were the ones that were woke against that. So I think
right.
He's just complete off his rocker there. But I do agree with a song like Last Caress. That would not be accepted. The message, the lyrics wouldn't be accepted. But I think he's he's flipping it. He's talking about two conflicting things. I think he's right on one, wrong on the other.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think he's wrong on both ends, to be honest. And it's ultimately because it's music and it's art. I mean, if that was the case, then Quentin Tarantino would just stop making films. The whole point is it's supposed to be shock, right? It's supposed to be, not so PC. So same with music, you're going to attract a certain crowd and you might get some haters, but I mean, that's always happened, I don't think Eminem, we talked about Eminem on here with the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP and some cringeworthy songs on that. And I guess to Danzig's point, that came out in 2000, where it's 2021 now. Could, Marshall Mathers write a song like that today? I mean, he has. So I think the point is, yes, because you're an artist and you kind of do whatever you want to freedom of expression. If you get haters, whatever, it is what it is. I think there is an overcorrection when it comes to being PC and being woke and making sure that you're not offending anyone. But at the end of the day, you can't please everyone. And that's what music is. It's, you cater to a crowd that accepts you, and you might have some haters, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, I agree, Twan, with your initial sentiment of the punk scene back in that era being kind of the first wokeness of the whole, music world back then. Anyway,
Yeah.
there was probably late 70s, all that kind of classic rock stuff that we call classic rock today, and disco, right? All of that stuff was just, I'm sure there was some stuff behind the scenes that we've heard about. Some of it we haven't heard about, others that was just terrible and not great. And you get punk happening, and you get them fighting off the skinheads, Nazis, whatever, and being out against that, and not saying what Danzig is saying. Now, the Last Caress stuff, yeah, I don't think you can. I just looking at the lyrics just now for the first time in my life and thinking, whoa, yeah, you're not writing that song today. Not in that vein. Not with punk, and it's not gonna be big. There are some metal bands that would write that today.
Death metal bands, yeah.
Death metal bands that would write that today, right? So that's and probably be okay with it. Like Cannibal Corpse comes to mind. Like they just put an album out that I'm sure something like that's on there. So it is what it is. It depends on what you like Nate said, and who's down with whatever. Now, obviously, there's some things you just shouldn't say and shouldn't do, and there are definitely things today in 2021 that you can't say anymore, and you're not going to have a lot of people flocking to your music if you are saying those things. So that's obviously a piece of it, but I still think that you can have this. There could be a modern, even more contemporary punk explosion again, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny. Like he mentions Last Caress, but like that was an exception of that era. You know what I mean? That wasn't the mess. That wasn't the Black Flag rise above message. Like that was a small pocket of it. So I think he's kind of lost in his own world. But what's interesting is some notable bands have covered that song. Like Metallica, I think it was on Garage. Was it on the Garage Inc. cover album or live album?
Oh yeah, right.
NoFX covered it, which doesn't surprise me. AFI covered it, but I don't know how recent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The climate's so different even from 5 years ago to now that it wouldn't surprise me if those bands covered it that recent or if it was many, many, many years ago. I think Metallica's case, it was many, many years ago. But yeah, this stirred up some buzz online. Like there were the Danzig fanboys that were like, yeah, he's so right. And others like, this guy's out of touch with reality. Like, but I will say, I didn't see anyone with my initial take, which is like, no, like the wokeness, like that would have been them back then. You know what I mean? Like that was the message. That was a fun one. I mean, I don't think we'll hit too much more on that one, but yeah, Glenn Danzig. I guess that's what it takes for him to hit the news nowadays.
He finds his way in every now and then.
All right, so what else we got? We have Tone. We got something else?
Yeah, so I saw Machine Gun Kelly tweeted out yesterday or the day before, when you're hearing this, probably 4 or 5 days ago now, that he sold out his U.S. tour for the fall. Now, that got me thinking, like, wow, I didn't even know it was on sale, first of all, which is, one of those things. In COVID times, it's like, is this next fall or is this fall of 2022? The second thing is, like, I'm going to go look and see if I can't find tickets somewhere, secondary market, whatever, and what do they cost? So I log on to Ticketmaster, and if you've listened to us for any length of time, we have our feelings about Ticketmaster. And I think, all right, I'm going to check it out. They have a ton of tickets on resale value for the closest date to us, which is Boston. And the cheapest ticket's $270 in their resale kind of website. Now, my thought is, and this is the skeptic and the pessimist in me, which I can be from time to time. Big acts like Machine Gun Kelly right now, he's having a moment. Obviously, he's had a moment with his pop punk album that came out last year and all that stuff. Like him and Ticketmaster are in cahoots. I'm going to be super conspiracy theory hat right now. They're in cahoots. They want to work together to recoup the money they lost that they would have made last year. So all those tickets sold out, I'm saying in quotation marks, to resellers that are putting them all back on the Ticketmaster website and jacking the prices. Now, I don't think this is going to work for smaller bands, but I do see this happening, over the next 6 months to a year as things open up with big acts because they think people will pay it. And it's wild to me. Like, I'm not paying $270 to see Machine Gun Kelly. I would like to see him, but I'm not going to pay that. What do you guys?
I'll go conspiracy theory 2.0. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That verified resale ticket, dun, is actually Ticketmaster themselves.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
It's not even in cahoots with, a third party. It's actually just them.
Don't think that they're splitting somewhat the act? That's what I think.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, if it is them, then yeah, that money would go to the act.
Yeah, I think it's a little complicated. But to your point, Twan, that it's Ticketmaster verified, whereas before it was a third-party company or third-party website platform where they would buy tickets. That's where this whole bot thing came from. They would set up computers and be first in line, and get the systems all overcrowded with their system getting all the tickets first before actual fans, and created a mess.
Yep.
Of the whole ticket buying system, at least online. And back in the day, I think they would just have people stand in line early and stuff like that, which is a whole different thing. But to see it Ticketmaster verified is hard to decipher, because that means it should, in theory, be actual fans that are like, I don't want to go anymore, so I'm going to put it up for sale. Well, talk about this is conspiracy theory 3.0. Most music fans, I want to say, that I've met in my life are pretty good people, humble people. I've rarely met a true music fan that's marked up the ticket, and sometimes a little bit, hey, head service fees and shipping and handling, everything, like, so that's why I'm, charging you a little bit more than face. Almost never is it 2x the price. And I sent you guys a screenshot of a Deftones show here in LA for the fall, and it's an 8x face value on the verified Ticketmaster platform. So it's like, are fans really that greedy right now? Like, are they in line with what you're saying with Ticketmaster, Live Nation, and the artists? Like, hey, we're making up for lost time here, but I'm a fan, so I guess it's an investment. I think we joked via text, like, this is like buying crypto, and like you're buying on the low, selling on the high, and watching it kind of fluctuate and pump and dump kind of thing. But I kind of doubt it. Like, I just don't see many music, like 95% of the music fan base just is trying to scam a fellow fan. It just it doesn't add up.
I think your fans, like this podcast, the three of us, are not looking to make a buck on tickets like that. And I do think that somebody either gotten in and, got a bunch of them and then threw them up for resale. And the thing that kind of tipped me off about this, I've been looking at trying to get to a Celtics game, a distant Boston Celtics game at the Garden down in Boston. And I tried to buy tickets on Sunday, and, beside the point, couldn't get a single, but everything was verified resale. There was no just, this is the ticket, this is what the ticket cost. It was through the verified resale platform. So you're telling me those tickets were on sale already? Like, the season started and COVID was already a thing. Those tickets were never given to anybody or bought by any fan. They were just shoveled into there by somebody. Now, with the venue and all that on the sporting side, it's a little different, but with an act, a big act, working with Ticketmaster to recoup some of the money they all lost last year, my radar's up a little bit. I'm a little concerned that, this is another one of those situations where goods are throttled and the average Joe is going to have no chance to get to see, one of their favorite big bands because they don't have $500 to even get in the building.
Well, I mean, think about the conversations we've had on this podcast. We speculated that when this opens back up, what's the capacity going to be? Because capacity, supply, is going to drive the demand, and we talked about how that could impact the price of tickets. Now, in this case, where my head went was, okay, $300 to see MGK. Okay, that's not enough alone for me to react, just given how I know that things are. I need more information. Is this full capacity? Because if it's full capacity and you're trying to get $300 a head, it's like, all right, come on now. His ticket, I mean, I love to do some data analysis. Like, his ticket pre-COVID was probably $80. I mean, he came to Portland, right, with I forget who he came with, but if it's half capacity, then it's a softer blow. I mean, I'm still not paying it, but I guess either way, it doesn't surprise me. Like, Ticketmaster's going to Ticketmaster, but I actually pulled up the kind of the grid of the venue, and there's tickets all next to each other. In fact, if you want a ticket right at the stage, it's like $1,700, and there's
it's not cheap.
10 of them in a row. So maybe it's distance by row, but the actual seats next to each other, there's seats next to each other you can get.
It all stinks. Yeah. It's all shady to me. I'm sorry.
Money grab.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is an inside job because you didn't know it even went on sale. So who had access to that information on the on sale before it was announced? I mean, did we really miss it? Maybe, but I don't know. It doesn't add up. There's something super bizarre about this. I almost feel like it's an experiment. Like, or what are people willing to pay? Mm-hmm. Let's jack these prices and just see if people start selling out venues at this price. then we will, hike the prices knowing that, we actually can do this. Because that is something we talked about. We were like, oh shit, when shows come back, that face value of that ticket's going to skyrocket, based on the capacity. But if the capacity is full capacity, then there's no reason why that, price should go up other than, just inflation or something like that. Other than that, there's really no reason why it should be like I said, the Deftones ticket shouldn't be an 8x for the same ticket that was postponed, 12 months or whatever. That's ridiculous, or 18 months or whatever it is. And I just really don't think it's a bunch of fans doing that. So there's some weirdness about this.
It's not. And I mean, to go back to our conversation with Frank Turner a couple episodes back, which we've already mentioned, but he did that socially distanced show for the government in the UK to see how it would be feasibly to have the venue run at 30% capacity. And is there any way they can be viable doing that? And the answer was no, right? We know the answer is no at those regular ticket prices. Now, yeah, so you have to, the cost is to go somewhere, right? So you're going to raise the ticket prices some. But my worry here is that MGK tickets at most $100. We're almost 3 times as much now. The front row ones at most $200 to $300. $1,700 is ridiculous. Like that's not. Let's make this work so that we can pay everybody. Let's dip our hand into the cookie jar a little bit. That's where I have the issue.
Man, and the thing is though, and actually this kind of gets back to your Celtics example. What's probably going to end up happening is they're priced so high that someone's going to end up eating them. I don't see that seat getting filled, not at that price. And that's why, like Nate, it's almost, you could see these drop last minute just to move them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Will they online?
I don't know. I mean,
Right.
The most expensive ticket's $2,000. I mean, you're not looking to move that ticket. It's almost like those were placed at such a premium, so even the $200 and $300 ticket looks like a deal.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy 4.0.
I mean, it's just nuts.
I think they're just trying to, put it in the guise of Ticketmaster verified rather than going on StubHub where it's secondary market and you're like, this is more, but I really want to go and I really want to pit ticket. Whereas this is Ticketmaster, so you're like, the fans being tricked is thinking like, oh, this is another fan that just wants to make money, but I still want to go that bad. So they kind of avoid that shady talk that we talk about, like, oh, it's a third party that's also owned by Ticketmaster Live Nation behind the scenes. Now it's consolidated under Ticketmaster. Verified fan is supposed to be this guise of, no, it's verified. This is just another fan that's making money. But that fan behind the screen is actually a Ticketmaster employee.
Right. Exactly.
There was never, ever any change of hands of the ticket to, it's on sale. Now somebody has it. Now they're a verified fan. They want to put it up. No, it was always just, hey, they sold out, quotation marks again. And now they're up on our verified fans have put them on sale for 8X. Like,
yeah.
Fuck you. Sorry. Fuck you.
For context, Twan, here's an answer to your question. Rolling Stones, a Bigger Bang tour, I think it was 2006. They were playing stadiums then too, obviously. So those shows were like super sold out, like crazy oversold kind of thing. But same thing, these scalpers buy tickets in mass quantity. They have some kind of system that they're able to buy. I don't know if you've ever been to like a Gillette Stadium or whatever. You see these scalpers, they have a stack of tickets. You're like, how did you even get those? They're basically nosebleeds, but they have some kind of system where they get them printed and send them directly to them or whatever. So Rob, guest on here, what episode was that, Tone? 17. He said he went to the Rolling Stones show at Gillette, which I think a bunch of our friends did. And he said like, this guy was like begging to sell these tickets. And Rob was like, how much? And it was like, literally the show's about to go on. He's like, I don't know. I just anything. And the guy's like, oh man, this guy really wants to get rid of these tickets. And he pulls out this stack and he's like, oh, that's ridiculous. And it turns out like, they lower the prices because the show started. So it went from like, $300, $400 a ticket to like, I think Rob bought one just for like a souvenir for like $10. You got another ticket just for the stub kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't feel bad for them. Yeah.
No. The crazy thing is like, it's almost like you only need a few suckers. Like when the prices are this high, I mean, MGK's guarantee, and I don't know this, my guess is it's $250,000 a night now, 300,000 a night, his guarantee. I mean, it's not like, when the price of tickets are this high, it's not like you get to move a shitload of units. So I think that's what they're hoping for. Get a few, even if it's, a half capacity, but you've pumped the price by, 8-fold. It looks it. I'm looking at it, prices now.
I think the thing that rubs me the most the wrong way is that all of these people that are going to finally get back to their, whether it's a part-time job or not at the venues, probably aren't going to see a lot of that extra cash. And that's where I'm like, we're not doing this to run on capacity to make some money back for the people who have been hurting for this year plus. And this is the last, thing that comes back to semi-normal. Like, what are we doing here? Where those people aren't going to see that money. Those people aren't, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, the advances have been paid. This is just a markup on what's already marked up to begin with, beyond Keystone pricing to begin with. And also, one more last point is this validates my festival going experience in terms of bargain, because MGK is also playing the Aftershock Festival in Sacramento, which I'm dying to go to, but I'm probably not going to. And that ticket face, it's a 4-day festival. I think face value is $350.
Wow.
And he's on that with like Metallica and a bunch of other bands. So I guess pivot to festivals.
Yep. No, I found that interesting when I saw it, and I was like, I want to dig deeper on this, and I knew we would be able to dig deep into it, because that's what we do. That's what we do here.
No, I think this is a great topic, and I think this almost channels back to, so he's claiming he sold it out. You go on the website. I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's easily 20% of the venue is for sale. It reminds me of back in the days where labels would say they'd use the term shipped instead of sold for copies of CDs. You know what I mean? We shipped 200,000. All right, how many did you sell, you asshole? Like
you sold them to, whatever
you made
record.
them. I mean,
you sold them to Best Buy, but they didn't actually get sold. Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I enjoyed that conversation, and we always love to take down Ticketmaster a notch or two. And hey, open invite. We've said it on this podcast how many times? Come on and give us your side, and we'll decide if it's bullshit or not. Like, anybody that works at Ticketmaster Live Nation and wants to talk to us, we have questions. We would love to do it.
Yeah, we'll do that one live.
Totally. Yeah, we won't even have like 4 takes to start, right, Nate?
Yeah.
I love you, bro. I'm just kidding.
If this topic was the main segment of this episode, we would call this segment "Verified Resale Tickets to My Downfall Tour."
Yeah, right. That's great. That's awesome.
Ticketmaster. It's a Sabotage.
Oh, hey, segue. Whoa. And you guys don't know, but you do. Hey, Sabotage. So what about Sabotage, Nate? Tell us.
You don't know, but now you know. Sabotage is one of the songs that we're choosing for tonight's segment. For all three of us, which band we'd like to see cover the song Sabotage, originally by the Beastie Boys. Masterpiece song. Twan picked this one, and it's just a fantastic song, and we're all going to have our take on who we want to see not only cover the song, but record the song as well. So this isn't just like a one-off live performance. This is an actual recorded track by said artist. So yeah, who wants to go first?
Well, we picked what? Well, we're going to do a few of
5
them.
or 6.
Yeah, and they're all well-known.
We got a bunch.
These are all well-known songs that we, put our own spin on it.
Yep.
Why don't you want me to go?
I can lead off. I got it.
You go.
This is one I struggled with. I'm not gonna lie, and I threw it on in the living room with my wife as a prep, and we were listening, and she threw this out there, and then I heard it. It was like, yeah, that actually makes sense. I like what this part can be with this part. Like there was just all of it kind of fit into place for me. So she said Linkin Park, and I was like, damn, that actually makes sense to me.
Wow.
Chester doing the vocals, not Mike. Mr. Hahn doing kind of the weird like scribble you hear with the guitar in between during the breakdown, the musical portion. And I'm sure that you can hear other stuff too with the the drums will go kind of the way it goes. But you even just Chester and Mr. Hahn would be perfect for this song. Just listening to Chester vocals on this track would be Mike, pretty cool, I think. So it took me a while to find it, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. Hell yeah.
Props to my wife.
Yeah, sweet.
Well, sometimes you just, like with all these songs, I played them and I thought like it was almost like who first hit me type of thing. So that's probably what happened. And Chester he could belt it out, and he would be great for that.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That did not come to mind at all. But now that I'm thinking of it, like, fuck, dude, now I'm embarrassed by mine.
No, don't be. But like, that like opening riff of Faint by Linkin Park.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could totally fit. They could play around with that and turn it into Sabotage. And they could have pulled the video off too. Those guys would have had fun with the video.
Great video. All-time video.
One of the all-time music video. Yeah, which we'll do on another day. We'll do music videos on another day.
Yep. Man, what do you got,
guys have? Yeah, what you got, Twan?
All right, so I've heard heavier covers of this, like Cancer Bats covered this, Incendiary, our old guest Brendan, they covered this studio version back in the day. So I want to go away from that. I wanted to not go heavy. So I'm going to take us back like 10 years ago. I remember being on YouTube, and I found a cover of a guy in front of his piano covering this song, and Sabotage, and he flipped it completely on its head, the whole rendition. So when we said we were going to do Sabotage, it brought me back to that guy and how it really worked. So the flow that this guy had, and it's some unknown YouTuber, he goes, can't stand it. I know you planned it. I'ma set it straight. This Watergate, kind of a flow to it, different arrangement. And I thought to myself, Bon Iver could nail a stripped down rendition, mellow vocals, just completely taken in a completely different direction, like that, almost like
Dynamite Hat kind of thing.
Raspy, haunting, slow it down, but with a little groove too. A little groove.
Wow.
Shit, I love that.
Yeah. So was it Justin Vernon? Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I can't wait for these to we're going to put this all up there and just tag all these bands. Say, hey, cover this song and see what happens. We'd love to hear it.
And I can't find that YouTube video. I've been looking for every couple of years I'll be like, I wonder if I could find that now. Can't find it. But just the way he made it his own, I was like, it was awesome.
That's rad. I know I said Dynamite Hat, kind of like Boys in the Hood, right? Just complete different direction on how the song structure goes.
Yeah.
Wow, I hope that comes back up. I wonder if it was taken down based on copyright infringement.
Nah.
But it couldn't be, right? It's
I think
cover.
there's some guy in his bedroom just dicking around with it.
I think it's only copyright infringement if you use, assets to visuals or something like that. Like anyone can cover a song and not pay royalties. Yes, I'm stalling because mine.
This is the one you didn't have one for?
No, I had one for this one and I put it down because this is the first one, like you said, Twan, this is the first thing that came to mind.
Nice.
And I kind of avoided it and I kind of pondered on it. Like, do I want to change this up? But I'm going to keep it for two reasons. One, because I think this band doesn't get enough credit. And B, because I think they may have been influenced by them. And, I don't think they're a ripoff. I think they're their own thing. But Korashi would fucking slay this song.
Dude.
Right?
I'm closing my eyes, trying to picture it.
No, I already hear it. Yes, and I'm all in. Fuck yeah.
Because they play their instruments. They're multiple vocalists. They're energetic. I feel like they could kind of fill the shoes and get this recorded. This would probably be a really good rendition live for them if they ever came back. I hope they do. But if they wanted to pay tribute to Beastie Boys, this would be the song, and they would just nail it.
They could pull this song off tenfold. I totally agree.
Oh, I can hear it now. So listen up, because you can't.
Yeah. No, and similar vocals, but probably even a little more polished than the Beasties.
Yeah, especially for that recording. Totally. And I actually also brought this up because I can't remember where I read it, but I want to say it was MCA in a Rolling Stone interview or something like that, was without saying the band's name, was kind of shitting on them. Like, there's other bands that are kind of ripping us off, and it is what it is. And I think something tells me he was referring to them.
Really?
This interview came out around 2002, and that's when the album dropped. I'm like, dude, don't take it as a diss. Like, if anything, it's a tribute. But I don't even know if they were influenced by Beasties, even though there's some similarities there. But
yeah, but they're from Iceland. Although they do they did a lot of their popular music in English, even though they're Icelandic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That's a flag. Yeah, I'd be flattered by that. I'm flattered by anybody that even listens to us. So if they even do some of the same stuff that we do, cool. Good for you.
Yeah, like Pod Nation, we came up with that. It's all good.
Yeah, those guys are cool. We like Pod Nation.
I don't think we did, Nate. All right, good start. What do we got next? Where are we heading?
I'm gonna let. Okay, we just did one of Twan's. I'm gonna take mine. I'm gonna take one of the ones I put out there, and I want you guys to go first because I want to see if you thought the same thing I did. But
nice.
You too, where the streets have no name. Who's leading off? Twan, you got it?
Yeah, I'll lead us off. So I threw this on, and actually, again, same as you, Tone, leveraged my wife. So I threw this on. We were just, hanging out in the kitchen, and my wife goes, "This would be an amazing Bruce Springsteen song."
Ooh, I like that.
And in fact,
shit, she's right.
When she said that, I was like, damn. I think, and this might be a bold statement just because Bono's His voice is so atmospheric, but I think had Bruce put this out, it would have been potentially as big, maybe bigger.
Totally.
Agreed. Yep.
But I think Bruce has a more authentic, I don't know if that's authentic, but he's got this really authentic voice that would just give it a different feel. I don't know. Listen to that song and you'll be like, this would be an amazing Bruce song.
Completely agree. And he would fit, especially those first couple of lines, the I want to run, like you want to run, like it all fits, right?
Oh, damn. There we go.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. You know what's funny is that was my first choice and I crossed it out. Thank God.
Really?
Yeah, it was the first thing that came to mind immediately. I was doing this homework while I was driving today, and that was the first thing that came up. And I was like, I actually thought Tone was going to pick this. Maybe he did, but
I didn't. I never even thought of it, and I'm mad I didn't because it's perfect.
It is perfect. I know, and even instrumentally and everything, it's like
instrumentally
they could kill.
Totally.
They could nail this song. And I think what you're trying to say, Twan, is Bruce is just very, very much so a storyteller in his singing style.
Yep.
And this song is a story. This song is a story. So yeah, immediately this came to mind. I didn't pick Bruce, and I'm happy I didn't, but I'm happy you did, because I think it's perfect. And I hope that he covers it, at least live.
Yeah,
because,
he may have covered it live. There's a million people that have covered it live. If you look on, I found a website that had a bunch of that stuff. So it may have been covered at some point. But yeah, you're right. He's perfect for this. He would have been perfect for this. Absolutely.
Yeah, Nate, and they could drag it out.
Yeah. Nate, what did you end up picking?
All right, so I crossed out Bruce, and then I had My Morning Jacket, and then I crossed that out.
I like that.
And then I eventually went down to Block Party for this song.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes.
So kind of like a dancey thing going on, like a.
Yeah, because the vocalist has such an amazing voice, so he could really nail Bono's parts. And then the drummer for Block Party, I don't know the drummer's name, but he's an amazing drummer, so he could definitely fill Mark Weinstein's Not Mark
Weinstein. He's
Max Weinberg.
Not Max. Max Weinberg is Bruce. You're thinking of is it Larry?
Oh, sorry. Yep. Yeah, fill the drum parts for that easily. So as soon as I kind of put those two together, I'm like, My Morning Jacket was good. Bruce Springsteen's good, but I think I'm going to stick to Block Party on this one.
Good pull.
Larry Mullen's the drummer for you too.
Okay. Yep.
Good pull by Tone. Sorry.
Fact checking in real time.
Okay, so I was trying to fact check who the drummer for Block Party was, but then you threw out all these other Max Weinberg, and I was like, I don't even know where we are right now.
Mark Weinstein.
I love it. Yeah, Mark Weinstein. Hey, Mark. Episode 7 guest. Go back and check that out. I love that our podcast sometimes also just is an advertisement for our other podcasts.
Always.
All right, so I picked. Okay, I thought at some point one of us would throw Rage or Deftones, or it's what we do. They're bands that are house bands, as Nate says, that we love. I want to hear Morello play the riff, but I don't need Rage. I don't need Zach. Who am I thinking of? Audioslave, right? I want to hear Chris Cornell singing I Want to Run coming into that from that riff, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, so those two, the main reason for me. The Edge's riff coming into that song is so iconic. I couldn't pick just anybody. It had to be somebody big. So I picked, obviously, Tom Morello from Audioslave in this juncture. And then I was like, and who is bigger than – there aren't anybody bigger than Bono. So I need to pick somebody equal or close to him, like Bruce. So I went with Audioslave and picked Chris Cornell because I would love to hear his take on it. And I think that would be a fun cover had they ever actually put it. And Chris Cornell loved to do covers. I mean, covered Patience by GNR and a few other big ones. Nothing Compares to You. And yeah, so it would have been really cool to hear his take on this song. That was my had to not do Rage, but throw them in there a little bit.
Well, I love that you led with, all right, I want Morello, and it's like, well, Zach, this ain't it for you, dog. And then you go,
it's not. Yeah.
Who? I mean, what other bands is Morello Bennett? I mean, that's perfect.
Street Sweeper Social Club, also not going to work. Prophets of Rage, nope, not going to work.
Oh, that's Be Real on this,
dude. Awesome pick. Cornell doing a Bono song would be incredible, and I wish they had done that. I think Cornell has some influence from U2 and from Bono in particular, so that would be amazing. Awesome pull.
All right, what else we got? We got a few more. We got a bunch more.
Nate's got to pick one of his songs that he gave us, and I know the one I would want him to pick, but I'm going to let him do it.
All right. I'm going to go Camplo Lucchini.
Nice.
This Is It What? Yeah.
Lucchini Pouring from the Sky?
I thought this was like a deep cut song, but I guess it's, like you said, Twan, it's actually pretty big. So
It was probably his only like semi hit, right?
Yeah, true.
They're still pumping out albums. Even
Are they really?
in the 2010s? Yeah,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Wow.
I think as recent as 2015, maybe 2017.
Yep.
But I think I don't know if they fell off, but just obviously not as popular. This was their jumping off point. So hip hop,
Uptown Saturday Night's the record, right? 97, I think.
Yeah, the artwork and everything.
the Bronx.
Yep, the artwork and everything's amazing. That makes sense with 2017 because I tried to see them in LA and they were playing like a bar. So like they're small, but they're still going. It's like, oh, sweet. I should have went to that. Sure regret.
So yeah, it always comes back up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know who I picked, and I can tell you, you guys have you don't have this, so I can go first.
Okay.
I looked for a band with horn sections, and I stumbled upon Trombone Shorty, and it's like, all right, he can do the horn part, but he'd be fun, but like who's gonna sing or rap? And then I thought putting together a supergroup would make it fun, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. The band Cake has a great horn section when they want to. Listen to Short Skirt, Long Jacket, stuff like that. Awesome horn section. I think they would have fun with this song, right? Cake would be a cool like change up for the way this song has been, because the beat is the star of the song. It always has been. If you go listen to this song, you'll hear it on the playlist this week. It's the star of the song. The rapping's great. The verses are cool. I love it. The two guys going back and forth, awesome. The beat is the star of the song. So I wanted live horns for this, and I thought Cake has a cool horn section. Let's pick the band Cake, and then the monotone delivery of the lead singer, right?
Dude, that's awesome, man. Hell yeah.
No, that's a great pick. I think you're right. I think the beat and the horns carry it, and the chorus is all time too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those songs that I don't know if I know the lyrics of the verses. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's like that's not the star of the song. It's the beat and it's the choruses. And I actually, you know, sometimes you're thinking and you have these like moments of like something works or whatever, and I just played it back in my head with a Cake vibe on the instrumentals. I can't picture it on the vocals. Maybe I just need to listen to more Cake, but great pick. I wouldn't, you're right. I never would have picked that.
I was like, they won't have this. I'm going with this one.
I think that would work. And like you said, I don't know the singer for Cake's name, but I think he could pull it off just because, like you said, the instrumentals are going to carry the song anyway. He's just kind of go through like the lines anyway. Might have to trade off with one of the band members on the other verses.
So
but
Cake featuring Drake. Cake and Drake.
Yeah. Cake and Drake Cake.
Very monotone.
Yeah, Drake's Cakes. Yeah, exactly. Drake's.
Talk rapping.
We have fun here.
Nate, why don't you go?
Yeah, who'd you have, Nate?
We might have the same one. You never know.
We could have the same one. This is another one where I didn't cross it out. This was the first one that came to mind, kind of thing, where I was like, all right, I could probably be a little bit more creative, or not. Maybe you don't have this one. But the first thing that came to mind, recurring, like time and time again, was Jurassic 5 on this one.
Ooh, I like that.
I was like, damn, if they covered this, it would be fucking dope. Charlie Tuna doing the other vocalist, kind of deep, what is it called? Deep voice, kind of
baritone versus
baritone voice and so forth. So yeah, that was mine. And I kept recurring back and forth on that one for quite a while. And J5.
Love J5. And that's a great call. I mean, I thought about throwing another rap artist at it, and like Biggie kind of crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, J5 would, because he's iconic, especially in underground. Charlie Tuna, just his voice and his delivery would be great. Juxtaposition to one of his other bandmates, Dakir, or one of those guys, right?
Yeah.
One thought before I kind of get into mine, which is, and it wouldn't happen with some of these hip hop songs per se, but you always hear about some of like the biggest songs of all time got shopped around and like artists didn't want them and all this stuff. Like,
yep.
Some of this stuff could have happened in an alternate world, like literally could have happened if someone said yes, you know. But mine, it's another rap group from the South, ATL, Outkast.
Ah,
ooh,
nice.
Yeah. So I listened to this. I mean, I love this song. We've loved this song for 25 years, whatever. I listened to it today for the first time in a while, I feel like, and I was just like, damn, Outkast could smash this out of the park with just the triplets with the rapping and I know who would go when, Big Boy and Andre. Like it was just it hit me, and they could put a little southern swag on it, and I think it'd be badass.
Totally. That's a great call. They would I mean, they knock a lot of things out of the park.
Yep.
They would knock this one out of the park. Absolutely.
Yeah, they would slay this, and it would be such an awesome song to see live by Outkast if they had pulled this off. Could still happen.
Yeah, I wonder if they've covered it live.
Awesome, man.
Is that 3? We've got 3 down.
3 down, 3 to go.
Ooh. All right, I'm picking the next one. I'm calling it right now. Let's go Blue Oyster Cult, Godzilla.
Yes.
This is another Nate one, but I like this one. And when he said it, I was like, yeah, I want to hear that one. I want to listen to them do it again. Obviously, it's just a classic, timeless, classic rock song from Blue Oyster Cult. My people, the band that I thought would enjoy covering this would make it their own in their own weird way, as the song is already kind of a little weird for the presentation and the subject matter and whatever. And the noodling on guitar in between things. The Flaming Lips would crush this.
Oh my God. Nice. Yes.
Crush this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that would be the way to go. Listening to the Flaming Lips kind of do their weird, quirky act on Godzilla, which would be a fun song to hear them cover. I think they would. I mean, they covered They did the whole Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, right? And that's a fun, quirky version of Dark Side of the Moon, but it also pays homage to that record. And Pink Floyd's weird in their own right. I think they would do really well with this song.
Wow. This didn't even come to mind, but Wayne Coyne definitely has a similar vocal range than the guy from Blue Oyster, so that makes sense. And then Steven Drozd, the guitarist for Flaming Lips. I mean, listen to The Wand and then listen to this song.
Yep, exactly.
Deep drop D guitar. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I didn't even think of that.
So does the Flaming Lips, did they have a Godzilla theme in their music at all?
No. I mean, Yoshimi battles the pink robots.
So that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
The feeling that you're getting.
That's exactly. So I'm like, maybe there's, subliminally, maybe that's how you connected them. Who knows?
It totally could have been. And that did cross my mind when they came to my head. But this is one of those ones, like you guys had I listened to it and that band jumped into my head. Well, this is the one for me. Like this is the one of the times that I was like, that's the band that jumps into my head. Is the Flaming Lips. So it's probably a little subconscious. Yoshimi battles the pink robots.
That's awesome. 3 different nerds with 3 different brains. Sometimes we're on the same exact wavelength, but I'm happy that it's not always, because I didn't even think of the Flaming Lips.
Which surprises me. I mean, that surprises me a little bit, but I'm glad that you didn't. So who did you have?
Yeah, I had a stoner rock band. Ooh. And actually it wasn't the first one that came to mind. First one that came to mind was Monster Magnet, and I crossed it out for The Sword.
Ooh,
the Sword.
Yeah, I fucking love The Sword. Listen to a little bit of them. Kind of what I did today is I was driving for work, so I kind of like would listen to the song and just like think of what came to mind, and then pump it on Spotify, and then would kind of study it for a second, and then be like either cross it out in my head because I didn't have a way to write it down or whatever, and then either go back because I'm super indecisive or not. And I kind of narrowed it down to The Sword. And after seeing them live and like their heavy, like super heavy guitars, just kept drawing me back to The Sword. And I thought, oh man, if they covered this song, and like I said earlier, recorded this song, it would be badass. It'd be like a movie soundtrack cover kind of thing. So
because the sludgy guitars, like that would it would work.
Yeah.
Yep. When you said The Sword, when you said stoner rock and not the one you think of, my first thought was Queens. My second thought was Clutch. I did not think you were going to pull out The Sword, and Clutch would have been a good one for this.
True. Also didn't come to mind, even though Clutch
it didn't
would
come to mind until just now for me. Yeah, Clutch would have been perfect. Yeah. All right, Twan, who'd you have?
So I got a confession. I don't think before today, I don't think I'd ever heard this song.
That's kind of wild.
Never heard it.
Nice.
Yeah. In fact, when you said it by name, I was like, well, I know Blue Oyster Cult by name, and I'm sure I've heard songs and whatnot, but it was
Don't
never.
Fear the Reaper is the big one you've probably heard.
Yeah, it was never kind of my bag, and I obviously missed a different era. Anyway, we were kind of in the same vein, Nate, so I'm listening this through the lens of like not critiquing it, but like I don't have any experience with it, so everything's new to me. So I'm thinking of how I could make it better. Like how would I make this better? And that was kind of the lens I approached this with. So before I even picked the band, I was like, well, damn, the tempo has to be faster. They need to speed up the tempo.
Okay.
I want sludgier, heavier guitars. I want the tuning of the guitars to be dropped, and I want a party vibe. So I came up with Every Time I Die.
Oh, nice.
Every ETID song is like fast paced, and Keith Buckley has the singing ish and mostly screaming, but singing ish. And I think he could play on that throughout the song. and I'm like, I got super excited actually thinking of this because I'd love to hear it.
Me
But
too.
I did like the song,
Nice.
kind of that cock rock,
Yeah.
metalcore thing going. Man, I want to hear it. Let's do it. Make it happen.
That would be a fun cover.
Yeah.
They could pull that off for sure. They've and they would make it their own, but not step on what it was, which is always kind of the dance that people do with covers, right? We talked about last late summer, early fall, that Rage Renegades album where they kind of took over and made all those cover songs their own. And if I'm going to listen to a lot of those songs, I want to listen to those. But it's fun when you can change it up a little bit, but also not destroy, like not mess with the homage of the song. Like you're just paying tribute. And I think they would do a good job with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. I think actually that Rage Renegades album proved that anything's possible in terms of covers. Like you can completely flip something on its head and just be like, yeah, we just made this song what it is, like Maggie's Farm.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, we're doing it again. Stop.
Yeah, tangent.
Yeah, we love Rage. Sorry, but yeah, it's cool when a band takes a song and puts their own spin on it. And I think Every Time I Die would do that with this song. I think you're right, Twan. It's cool that you got to hear it with fresh ears too. I'm a little jealous of that because I knew the song, and
yeah,
that's fun.
And this is like the most obvious statement, but like there's only one time when you can hear something for the first time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you
right,
can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool to hear it because obviously they are who they are or whatever.
You're right.
We got two left. We want to do at least one.
I think we got them both.
Yeah,
Want to do them both? Let's do them. All right. What do we got? What's left?
Big smash mid 90s hit female artist.
Ooh, I like it.
Alanis Morissette, You Ought to Know. Before we get into it, this album was absolutely massive.
Massive.
I think no matter what genre of music you were in, I mean, granted we were much younger, you knew all the lyrics to this. It had a edge to it for a pop rock song.
Yeah.
And you just couldn't escape it, but you didn't really want to, you know? It was a great song.
This was a pop rock song that was born out of the grunge sensibility.
Yeah,
totally.
And you needed Alanis's vocals to make it work. I don't think anybody can cover this and make it what it is, but I am excited to tell you who I think might be able to pull it off.
Well, let's lead with you.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay,
It might be who I have.
Very recently, I learned, and I should have known this, being the nerd that I am. We've joked about Taylor Hawkins being the drummer for Alanis Morissette, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing, and he almost was her drummer versus being the Foo Fighters drummer. Flea played the bass line on this song, and I never paid 2 cents to it listening to the song. I listened to it today, yesterday, whatever, a couple times to try to get a vibe for it, and I thought, man, Flea is really trying to make himself front and center, like he can do, like he will do, and it works for the Chili Peppers. So fuck it, let's just make it a Chili Peppers song. Like I could hear Anthony Kiedis singing this. Obviously, it might change a couple lyrics here and there, but he could even pull off the lyrics the way they are, because he's a little funky and weird when it comes to that stuff anyway. Not saying that they're weird; they're not weird, but the differences in how things are in the song, I think he'd have no issue pulling that off. So it'd be fun to listen to that, and then maybe throw in just a tiny little Frusciante solo somewhere.
Oh man,
just cause, right? So yeah,
Dude.
Chili Peppers. I made this a Chili Pepper song.
Hell yeah! At first, I didn't get it, and the more I'm thinking about it in real time, I actually agree. Yeah, this would be fucking rad by the Chili Peppers, definitely. And Kiedis could pull it off for sure.
So like in Under the Bridge, it's like Kiedis is front and center. Well, I almost picture that with how that song, how You Ought to Know starts. Like, you know, like he can do that, obviously.
Yep.
And the song's halfway there with Flea already slapping the bass.
The bass line doesn't even need to change. You might just turn him up a little bit.
I'm trying to picture Kiedis on the choruses. It's a monster chorus.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, that might be the hardest part, but at the same time, he's pulled off monster choruses in the past. I would like to hear it. I think they would have fun with this. And Flea, you just turn Flea up a little bit, and maybe lead with him versus leading with the guitar.
Yeah.
And have him be kind of more front and center and make it a little more Chili Peppers sounding. It might be a fun little romp.
Dude, the more I think about it, the more it works, because the breakdown when Alanis Morissette, I don't know the words verbatim, but she's kind of like almost like rhyming and that's like a
Yeah.
Kiedis like hip
He
hop
does
line
that.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wish I knew the line for sure, but the way that you something,
He can pull that off. Yep.
yeah. Wow, nice. I guess Flea was kind of a good shoe-in, but this didn't come to mind. But now that the more I think about it, like I actually hope that they cover the song now.
I'll shoot it over to Flea on Twitter. We'll see what happens.
Anything's possible. Shoot or shoot, right? That's our tagline.
Totally.
Oh man.
I mean, this is the funnest part. Is I'm going through each part of that song, and I'm trying to put in who the artists were giving into that spot.
Hell yeah. And like you guys having your own ones, like me having to try to figure that out in my head in the moment.
Yeah.
I love that shit. It's great.
Yeah, you're right. I said, I think I introed what nerdery is when we were on the Trawl cast and said it's a tangible thing. And this actually proves that it's not a tangible thing. Nerdery is literally like anything that's super geeky that has relation to music. And this is like us, like
we love
in
it.
real time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like putting our like finger between our glasses and trying to like geek out on this super scientifically.
All right, Twan. So who'd you have?
All right. So this one, I feel like it's so obvious that I think they would knock it out of the park. And in fact, I'm surprised you guys didn't pick them. And in fact, Nate might. Smashing Pumpkins.
Yep.
Ooh,
Bilko.
Nice.
He can nail the monster chorus. If you think about that kind of whispery, cryptic way she starts the song, he does that.
Yep.
But like when I was listening to this today, I was like very specific parts where I was like, I think Bilko would actually make this sound better in some spots.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally.
And same era too, the whole mid-90s thing. Did you guys think of them when you're doing this exercise?
To be honest, it did come to mind. I didn't write it down, but it was one of the, I don't know, cluster of bands that came to mind at first. But I didn't choose it. And it wasn't even because I thought someone was going to choose it. There was just so many, like this is one of the songs out of all our list that like I had so many things coming to my head at the same time that I was like, shit, I had to like almost like distill it a little bit more, but now that you mention it, and the more I think about it, like you said, in real time, in terms of song progression and how Billy sings, it's like, oh shit, they would nail this. He could nail this, and it would be amazing because the backing instrumentals for the Smashing Pumpkins are also like, just super professional musicians and can just nail the parts.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They were a band that I was, in looking at our list of songs tonight, they popped into my head for a lot of them. And I didn't end up settling on them for anything in particular, but could have pulled off many of the songs that we picked tonight. This being probably one of the front runners. But yeah, no, I didn't fully see it, but hearing you explain it, the way he sings, the way he kind of can change, octaves and be quiet and then kill a chorus that's big and loud. Yeah, this would be perfect. They would be perfect for this.
Yeah. Awesome pull on that one, man.
All right, Nate, what you got?
What do I got? All right. Well, here's the deal. All right. I thought that we were choosing people that were alive and not deceased. So I had one.
Well, nobody ever told you that you didn't. I mean, come on.
I know there was no rules. I know there was no rules.
We make our own rules.
We make the rules, Nate. Come on now.
That's true. But for some reason in my head, I thought it was alive only. So I keep mentioning all these honorable mentions that I crossed out. So my first pick, after, like I said, distilling it multiple times, was Janis Joplin, thinking she could fucking slay this song.
Yeah. Yep.
And last minute, I crossed it out, literally like in the last 10 minutes before I jumped on, crossed it out for Brody Dalle from the Distillers.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And she's got that raspy voice and kind of attitude, and I'm like, and punk rock kind of like thing going on. I was like, oh, she could fucking kill this song, like just straight up slay it. And her band, the Distillers, are also super talented. And so, yeah, I kind of brought it down to this one. And I kind of went back and forth from this and a few others too. Like I said, this one in particular, I just had so many things coming to mind. But I eventually kind of narrowed it down to Brody and thought, man, if she ever covers this, it'll not only like be well received in terms of her, I don't know, her diction, but just her background. She's been through a lot. She just went through a divorce. This would be like a perfect time for her to cover the song and put it out there. So, yeah.
She could pull that off. Yeah, for sure.
She could pull that off. And she's got, kind of the punk thing going on, and it would be a different spin. It would have just as much attitude, if not more, but with, I'm not gonna say a modern twist to it, but probably more of an edge. And
it'd be less grungy and a little more punky.
Mm-hmm.
because grunge has some punk roots, obviously, but it was like slowed down, and this would be probably a little more sped up with Brody doing it.
Totally. I was going to say higher tempo or faster tempo for sure.
I'm surprised nobody picked Kevin from The Office. I thought about that.
What about Dave Coulier? What about
Dave Coulier from Full House, yes.
Jesse and the Rippers?
Yeah, Jesse and the Rippers. Yeah, we're really getting deep on the nerdery right here. All right, man. We got one more. Right?
Yep.
Snoop Dio double jizzle.
Yep.
Gin and juice. Who's leading off?
I'll start us off. I'll start us off with this one.
Sorry, Twan's got it. Go ahead.
Twan's got it.
All right. So one of the bands I liked in the early 2000s, Hot Rod Circuit, they're kind of Jimmy Eat World-ish in that scene. They covered this for the Punk Goes Crunk album, or it was one of those pop goes punk type of things.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. It was bad. So I wanted to go away from that style. And I was just thinking, hey, you need someone with confidence. You need someone, because I mean, Snoop, he's Snoop. He's like, I'm here, like I'm Snoop Dio double G, whatever. Yep. So I was thinking either another rapper or someone that is kind of someone in the rock or metal space.
Yep.
So I was thinking, you guys are gonna think it's a cop out. Rage. Go
nice.
with Rage.
Oh, nice.
I was wondering if anybody would do it.
Yeah, just someone with confidence that has, because if you're not going to go rapper, you got to go someone that can kind of pull off the rap.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In a band. So think about that. Like,
oh man, nice.
Yeah, I it's always kind of like the cheat code and whatnot, and
it's not though. This is like solid because now I'm thinking about it in real time. I'm like breaking it down in my head.
He would nail it.
Oh, totally. And the music would be on point too. I mean, it would work. They would make it their own. And I mean, you're right. It's a cheat code. The Rage Against the Machine answers all of these questions if we want them to.
Totally.
Like, what's the answer? Rage Against the Machine. What's the question? Who cares? Like that's how things go here at the Podioslave podcast sometimes.
Well, it's funny. Like you already brought up Renegades, and it's like this is. There's like adjacent songs on Renegades, like Cypress Hill, like
yep.
And it worked. So it's like
totally, yeah. Microphone Fiend, Rock'em, Barrack Me, Rock'em, yeah, totally. No, they could pull it off. And as I think Killer Mike and LP said about Zach De La Roca, hey, you guys are lucky that he didn't go in the hip hop game because he'd have killed everybody there too. Like that, he's just that good at that stuff. So yeah, it would have totally. I mean, they could kill Gin and Juice if they wanted to, and they probably. Maybe someday they will. Who knows?
Oh man, I keep thinking about it in real time. Like the rhythm section for this from Rage would just slay.
Yeah,
it would just be fucking insanity. Oh man, didn't come to mind. But
to channel you, Nate, my kind of second backup pick was going to go kind of an opposite direction, more of a singer songwriter style. But I couldn't pinpoint someone who I'd want.
I got a couple. Yeah, I got like 4.
Oh, damn.
That's the kind of the road I went.
Are you segueing?
I am segueing to my pick, yes. Because we can talk about Rage all night, and we will at some point. The whole episode will be about Rage. It'll happen. We just have been, we're biding our time. We'll get there in year 3. But yeah, no, I picked a singer-songwriter-esque. I have a couple written down here, and honestly, you guys familiar with the Sturgill Simpson cover of the Nirvana song? Oh, which one is it?
In Bloom, probably?
Yeah, In Bloom. Yep.
Nice.
You familiar with that one?
Yeah.
The cover, no.
So it's a very slow, stripped down version of that song, which is not slow and stripped down, right? It's kind of loud and in your face. So when I heard or thought about Gin and Juice, I thought this is kind of an in your face, awesome, all time rap song from Snoop Dogg, who's an all time rapper. I want to strip it down. I want it to be somebody who can pull off some of the lyrics. I mean, you're not going to pull off all of them, but pull off some of the lyrics in a stripped down kind of version. And I ended up with I have 3 people on this list. I've talked about Julian Baker on this podcast in the past. I think she might be able to pull that off, but she's also a recovering kind of addict, so I didn't want to throw that on her. Same with Jason Isbell. Didn't want to throw it on him. Not to say that those people have issues with drinking, so that they just can't do it anymore. But a guy a massive song by this guy, Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton. I think Chris Stapleton could pull this off.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
I think this would be an awesome Chris Stapleton cover. I really do. I think he would would slow it down, give it a little country, but not make it too much, and it'd be a fun. I could hear him doing the chorus right now in my head. Like it'd be a fun cover.
Monster voice, soulful voice,
Totally.
takes over the song. It'd be interesting how he would handle the verses, though.
Some of them would be tough, and some of them you probably change a little bit just to make it work.
Slow? Did you say slow it down?
Oh yeah,
100%. Yeah. Yep. I'm picturing it in my head.
and any of those people I mentioned could do it. I think Julian Baker could do a great job with it. I think Jason Isbell would do an awesome job with it. I just don't know that it's something they want to do.
Yeah. Wow. So we're going all over the map.
All day,
these.
man. That's what we do.
So to reel it back then, I guess, because this one isn't all over the map. This is another rapper. First one that came to mind. And I didn't cross this one out. I figured this was a good fit if it was going to be another rap artist, at least. T.I., I feel like, would be able to pull this off with his flow and his kind of like soft-spoken style. And no one's has any. I don't think any other rapper has done Gin and Juice, right? Or am I wrong?
I couldn't find a ton out there. I'm sure people have covered it, but I couldn't find a ton out there studio-wise.
There's a few covers out there, but not. I don't think from rappers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, T.I., also known as Tip, I feel like could pull off Gin and Juice pretty well. Not super far off in terms of like cadence, right? And just overall style. Well, no, I guess it is a different style altogether, but he's got that just smooth style of rapping, right? So
yeah, he's like Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Southern, yeah.
So yeah, T.I. Tip could pull off Gin and Juice.
I'm trying to think of how this would work with a less West Coast, more Southern thing, and I can't.
Yeah,
I'd have to listen to Gin and Juice again.
Instead of you can have whatever you like, it's with so much.
Oh yeah, he can pull it off.
Yeah, with so much going on the LBC.
Drama, so much drama in the LBC.
So yeah,
kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G. I used to say it's kind of hard being Tone D-O-double-G, but no one liked that. So.
There's so much trouble in the ATL.
Yeah, he could pull it off. I think you're right. I mean, he's a talented rapper. He's a talented musician. He could definitely pull this off.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Richard Cheese?
Yes, and he's covered a lot of the songs we did tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He does like the cabaret, crooner, jazzy covers, and he does cover this Gin and Juice.
Oh wow, nice.
He covers Slipknot's "People Equal Shit."
Nice.
Which is it's amazing. Check that out. Pull up if you're listening. Pull up Spotify. Look up artist Richard Cheese and check out his "People Equal Shit" cover.
If you get listening to this episode and it's a couple days after it dropped, I mean it'll probably be on our playlist too. So go check out our playlist. Plugs, all the plugs every day.
I'm just getting that guy's name. I assume that's not his real name.
I think
joke
it's not
that,
his.
I'm just kidding.
It's a joke. Good deciphering, Twan.
Just like take off your pants and jacket. I'm like,
did you just figure it out?
I was 10 years late to the party.
The Dan Band covered it too, or one of the songs we did tonight. But yeah, they're another one that would be fun to just have around. The Dan Band, they're in like Old School and The Hangover. They do like funny, jokey takes on popular songs.
Oh, okay.
You've never heard of the Dan Band? Oh man, check out the Dan Band. They're fun.
There was a band that used to come to up here in California, Belly Up, all the time, and it was called the Dan Band, but it was Gary Sinise, the actor. Oh, okay. And it was called the Dan Band.
Yeah, different.
Yeah, different Dan Band.
Yeah, definitely a different.
And we're off the rails finally.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to hear the Dan Band's cover of Candy Shop.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that'll be. We'll close the playlist with the Dan Band's cover of Candy Shop. We put it at the end of this episode, but we don't have the rights, so sorry.
Yeah, we tried.
You know what I'll do? If you're on the YouTube, if you're watching this on the YouTube, you can click on it. I'm going to put it right up at the top of the card. You'll see it. Here's the Dan Band's Candy Shop. Just click on it right now.
Man, that was a great segment idea, Tone.
That was fun. Yeah. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
And again, repeatable. We got some more in the arsenal for that one.
Plenty of songs.
Yeah. Anytime there's nerd homework like this, it's at first I'm always like, can't we do better? And then I'm like, oh wait, no, this is actually amazing. And like the more I get into it, I'm like, this is actually the best segment of all time. It's like super nerdy. That's all I care about is just nerdy.
Yeah, we always find a way to make it our own and joke about it and laugh about it and have fun with it. And hey, we just threw out 6 songs with 18 different ways to cover them. What do you guys think? Like, we'd love to hear what you guys have to think about it. So hit us up on the socials at Podioslave on Twitter and Instagram. Email us at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. We're on Reddit. Check us out there. We're on YouTube. Check us out there. We're everywhere. Like, if you didn't hear one of the bands that you think could kill one of these songs, let us know. I want to hear about it. Like, we'll tweet it at everybody. We'll try to get somebody to cover it. Like, I want to turn one of these into a real thing. That would be an ultimate goal for me. That'd be just badass. So hit us up on those socials.
Yeah, you'll have fun with it.
Heads up.
You'll definitely have fun with it because once you get going, you'll be like, all right, this either works or it doesn't. And if it works, it's like, damn, this could be better than the original. So, yeah, good stuff, guys. We want to wrap it for this one?
Yeah, it's a good spot.
I agree. Awesome, guys. Cheers, everyone.
Peace, podheads.
See you next week. Bye, guys.